So we're going to get ourselves set up for our guided radio process here. So you can see I've got a blank new document set up. Before I do anything else, I'm going to save that sucker so that I can ensure that he is ready to go. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to go save him, and we're going to go guided speaker. And if you add your name to the end of it, it'll be easier for you later. So that's now saved through. I've got that document. It's thinking about it now. There he goes. So there's my document ready to go. Now, in the assessment for this, you'll see that there is a set of parts that you can use and reference through this. So we're going to set up and import those in here. So what you should then end up with is you'll have a set that looks like that. We're going to import those into our a folder in this. So I'm going to create a new folder. I'm going to call it parts 2, but you guys are just going to call it parts. I've already got them in here, but I want to show you the process. So you can see mine are in there ready to go. Let's actually go into the one that I wanted to. Parts 2, and I'm going to go upload, which then brings that guy, which then allows me to drag and drop those components that I've provided and drawn up for you into it. Now these are almost exact. I know there's a few things that aren't perfectly aligned to the actual parts that we have, but they're pretty close. So a really nice reference point for us when we're drawing it up. We can actually see and sort of make it fit. So they're uploading themselves now. What we need to do though is we need to take those parts and put them into our actual speaker over here, our project that we're going to be working on. So to do that, I'm going to make up some sub-assemblies or components that have groups, like grouped components. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to go create new component. And this one we're going to keep on the top level here, and we're going to call this our parts. Now, while we go through, we're going to make our life easier for later on, and we're going to create each of the subgroups that we need as well. So you'll notice in the documentation you have that there are 4 sub-assemblies we've got the front, the back, the base, and then I've got this other components or part section as well, and our top edge. So we have 4 bits that we want to create through here. So I've got my parts. Let's go new component. I'm going to call that my front. I'm going to then create and make sure I'm in the main one so that they're all, because see how that's sat into here. I don't want him there, so I'm going to drag him out and drop him back on the top level. So I can always reorganize, but if I can get it right from the first, it's going to make your life easier. So I'm going to go new component in that top level, and this is going to be the back. I'm going to then go next, create component. That's going to be the base, and then what did I call that last one? The top edge. Okay, so then and I did the same thing again, so pull them back up there, and now they're all on the same level. So you can have groups of assemblies within assemblies within assemblies when things start getting busy, but this one is busy enough just for one layer. So add the last one, and that's going to go in, and that is going to be our, I went completely blank on what we're calling it, on our top edge. And it renames. We can always rename these as we go as well. And again, I did the same thing. Let's drop him back to the top level. So now I've got those 4 or 5 bits there. I'm going to now activate my parts so that I can start adding, and you'll see our components as we put them in there. Now, I don't just want to upload them into this because I want to be able to reference these in other projects or your final design. So what we're going to do here is we're going to use what we call a derived part. So that basically takes another file that you have access to, and you can reference that. So anything you change in the original file, we can be updated across into this file as well. So the way we do that is we come over in the solid, over to insert, and it gives insert derive here. Now I've added that on to toolbar, so he's straight up there. So I'm going to insert derive from my parts 2, and you can see I'm going to just work through this whole list. So we need to do this each one individually. We select that, give it a moment. It's going to show us the first part. Now what I want to make sure is if I select on that, it's just selected the body, which means when we get over here, we can't use it as a component. It will have problems. We won't be able to move it. It won't, we won't be able to use it, joints on it. It will cause us problems. So we're going to come over here and select the whole thing. So you can see we've got now the whole component here. Select that, and it's been loaded in. Notice it's got that little arrow up here to recognize that it's derived. So I'm going to go through. I'm just going to do a couple of these, and then we'll meet back for another bit later to show how we can get a curved surface into and flatten it. But the rest of it in between, you guys should have the skill sets to be able to develop most of these parts if you've paid attention and done the tutorials leading up to this. So select the whole thing, select OK, and you can see that they've started to create themselves in there. So I'm going to leave it there for the moment, and you guys will continue through getting your parts file started. And then when you go into your project, you'll be starting off with our front face. So you're going to then go into here, go onto that, and then be able to start making your sketches and developing it from there. Now, part of the benefit of doing it this way, and I'm going to show you over here, is each of our components that we break down has their own timeline. If you have everything on the top level, you can see there's not heaps going on there, but it can get very busy very, very quickly. So having the subgroups of components allows you to have their own list of timelines, which makes your life much, much easier when it goes to editing or referring back to and finding things to adjust as you go through. So a very good practice to work through is using those groups of components and making sure you go into the active one that you want to be working in, because that's where the history or the timeline gets added. Notice when I'm in this, any of the other parts, so if I show you with everything else over here, so if I go onto the base, see how all the other parts go see-through, and it shows me what parts I'm working on. I can always hide or isolate if I want to see just that part. You can see I can hide the joints as well if I want to. But you can work in isolation or in reference to other things as well. So that's a really important element to make sure we're on top of. Good luck.